All right, I figured out why the Democratic cabal allowed the insane optics of Sniffy Joe's just evil speech last night. Look, Joe isn't there. Sniffy Joe, he's just not there. All he's thinking about is sniffing young girls. He's not there. So this isn't him. It's just not me. But I was like, this doesn't make sense. The optics here are so bad. Look at that. That's literally from the thing. That's you got two Marines in the background. I don't know why they got their hands like that. That's weird. But anyway, red and black. That's just is weird, man. And I mean, that is just it's just weird. And then you got from straight on. It just is a strange look. It's like my man Conservative Treehouse. The optics created by his communication team are national for a national dress are off the chart creepy. And I was sitting there thinking, why would they be that dumb? And uh, and I remember one time Obama had given a speech after I think he beat Hillary in one of the primaries. I can't remember. With all these Roman things, I said but he was small compared to this. It was weird. I said that's not a good look, Obama. And look, I liked Obama better than Hillary, but I just remember thinking that was weird. Democrats usually aren't that bad, but that was before the whole team was supporting Obama. And after the whole team supported Obama, their optics changed remarkably. When I mean the whole team, I mean the whole globalist team. So the whole globalist team supports Biden. He served the purpose, which is remove Trump. We know that. He served the purpose to push the green stuff, but he's always been and also ran, he's always been, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess a bit player. I mean, he did the job, which was to put him in place, which is to get Trump out. Now he's an albatross around the neck of the cabal. So they know that he needs to be replaced. You see what I'm saying? Now, how do you replace him? Well, here's what I think. I got to be careful what I say. You set up a place where you're so provocative that you're supposed that a MAGA guy is going to go crazy and do something bad, if that makes sense. And I just do something bad. I'll let you figure out what I mean by something bad. Something bad. So a MAGA guy is going to go nuts because he says, I'm going to stop this tyrant before, I don't want to say much more than that. And then you're going to get this sympathy. Now you're going to have to put Kamala in there, but I'm not sure how that works actually with because Kamala's just as bad. She's just, I mean, literally no one likes her. So I don't know how that shake out. She'd probably resign before 2024. I don't know. But we gotta blame the MAGA deplorables for something really bad and tragic, and we gotta pin it on them. We incited them with Joe Biden's speech, or we didn't. We're not gonna say we incited them, but they were incited by Joe Biden's speech about how semi-fascist they were, and then they did these bad things, which proved that they're semi-fascist. But the people who actually did the bad thing, if you know what I'm saying, weren't the deplorables. That's why we call it a false flag. And that way it's a win-win. We get to pin it on those guys, and we get to get this albatross off our back because the guy served his purpose, if that makes sense. You can see it's a mile away, man. I don't know what it's going to be, but you can see it a mile away. They were so traumatized, the deplorables, by Sniffy Joe's speech calling them semi-fascists that they went full fascist and they did bad things. Now we got to take it to them before they do more bad things. Kamala will be in charge, and she's not very popular, so she'll step down for whatever reason. And you can see this, man. And I still, to this day, I want to know what happened in Oklahoma City. To this day, Oklahoma City came right out of the 1994 temper tantrum that Peter Jennings said the American people had when they took back the House of Representatives from the Republicans for the first time in 40 years. In the Senate for basically this only the second time in 40 years. We only had the Senate Republicans from like 81 to 83 in Reagan's first 2 years, and then he lost it in 83 to be regained in 2004. But the Republicans hadn't owned the Senate basically in 40 years as well. So anyway, the point, and I don't even know if they did under FDR, I don't know, but basically, Peter Jennings said when the Republican took back Congress in 1994, he called it a temper tantrum of the American people. And that was the first time in 40 years. You see what I'm saying? And so I don't know. I don't think the cabal cares all that much about Congress as we think they do. I think the executive stuff is where most power now lay, because the executive authority in EO's executive orders, the executive authority in building the swamp via the FBI, the EPA, the DOJ, that's permanent. That's a permanent swamp. And so the Congress being controlled, I don't think it's all, I don't think, so I'm not all that, I won't be surprised if something doesn't happen before this election midterm, but I would be surprised if something doesn't happen before 2024. Biden's not going to run again. They can't have him. He served he did what he needed to do. Now he needs to go away. I mean, look at this image. It doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? Other than there's some false flag narrative that you're trying to build. I just, I just doesn't make sense. So some guy said, let me show you something. I mean, these are some of the memes. I get that. What I'm saying. But I mean, it's a provocation, whatever it is, being provocative. Dark blood, red background, evil condescending tone and squinting eyes, negative words and themes, and constant condemnation. Who staged this? Who wrote this? Huge mistake. But it's not a huge mistake in the overall scheme of things. Biden condemns fascism in speech while also debuting attractive new mustache. Oh, that's classic. There's nothing unusual or wrong with a president delivering a political speech, but doing it against a backdrop of two Marines standing at attention in a Marine band is a break with White House traditions. Yeah. Let's see real quick. I want to show you one other one. Here's Jonah Goldberg, supposedly a conservative. Oh, just be clear, I agree with most of what Biden has said, nearly all of it, but I still think this is a mistake. And Stephen Miller says, that's weird because this looked like liberal fascism to me, because Jonah Goldberg had written a book called Liberal Fascism. One second. Here's a narrative right here. Biden's primetime address attacks MAGA Republicans and escalating Democratic campaign of incitement. You see what's happening here, right? So they're saying we're inciting the MAGA, and the MAGA got so excited, well, I guess literally excited, that they did something very bad, if that makes sense. Biden's speech was only one thing, only trying to bait Trump. But here's the issue, man. It's scary to hear the president of the United States talk about you like you're a bug that needs to be squashed. Yeah, but that's this is what a speech after a coup looks like. A president flanked by uniformed soldiers, Marines, and bathed in red light as he delivers a speech that every network must carry. You're going to dedicate an entire speech to my opponents are Nazis. Don't go for this visual. I completely agree. That's where I was going with that. The point being is it doesn't matter if it's provocative or insightful or anything like that. It just matters that that's what they can use to say when something bad happens, that Biden's speech against Nazis provoked the Nazis to do bad things. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're going to play it as. And Americans are going to fall for it. Many will. They said, I didn't like Biden's speech, but I don't want this to happen. You see what I'm saying? It's a complete prep, the field for a false flag. Oh, man, I can totally see this. And it's just as silly. It's silly on its face. And yet people are going to fall for it because people just have this tendency to just not read deep in stuff, man. Because they think everything is like, oh, conspiracy theories are insane. You're an insane person. If you believe in any kind of conspiracy, you're like, dude. Anyway, I'm stunned. And I just came to my head. I said that it's deliberate. It's a deliberate reason they're doing this. To be provocative so they can use a false flag. It's just that simple. Yeah. Love to hear your thoughts. We'll see ya.